Yes, sir. Here we go again. This video is entitled How Arsenal Became the Most Unbeatable Team in Premier League. Let's go.
In the last decade of Premier League football, there is nobody closer to the title of undisputed second-place finishers than Arsenal. In the
Feel
last
me?
decade alone, they
Nigga, what's this? What is this? People are good with making Arsenal memes. Damn. God damn it. The camera that captured Arsenal's last major trophy. Ah!
finished second in the league a total of 4 times, with 3 of
Damn.
those coming consecutively in just the last 3 seasons alone.
True that.
And if we go back even longer,
And
winning
and
consecutively in
nigga, nigga, look at this. Look at this table. This table. Man City won with only 2 points ahead of Arsenal. This was going to make them cry. This season was going to make them cry. This was yeah, Man City led, and this Liverpool led. Yeah, there's a range of 10. Yeah, you feel me? And here there's a range of 5. But 2 points here, nigga. And those points were lost against Aston Villa, West Ham, and who else? Was it Wolves? But I remember it was Aston Villa and West Ham. Yeah, in the last minutes. In the last minutes in the season. Yeah, they lost.
just the last 3 seasons alone. And if we go back even longer, more than
Okay,
anybody since the turn of the 21st
not going to
century,
pause
Arsenal has
to pause
always come
again.
closest to seizing the crown, but never being quite able to lift it. In case you needed reminding, it's been over 2 decades since Arsenal has last
God
won the Premier League, all the
damn.
way back in the legendary Invincible season. But since then, it's been a long couple of
Wait. I'm sorry. That means if you were born in 2005, and there are 2 decades now, so people who were born in 2005, people who were born in 2005, they have never seen any major trophy from Arsenal. They have never seen Arsenal winning a major trophy. Damn! Now, how are they supporting their team? What motivated them to support Arsenal? Was it the culture? Inheritance? Yeah. You can hear. Yeah, by force, by fire, by force, your father can tell you that you're going to support Arsenal no matter what. Yeah, you can support your bullshit outside my house, but you're going to support Arsenal in here. You feel me? But damn, 2 decades.
generations defined by almost.
Two
But I
decades.
honestly have to give some respect to Arsenal. They're in it for the long run. Because through it all, Mikel Arteta has somehow managed to keep his job,
Man,
where, let's be honest, most
you have been
managers would have been
suffering.
sacked a long time ago, with some not even lasting longer than a season. But Arteta has convinced the board, the players, and even the fans to trust the process, no matter how long it might take. But every May, especially in these last few years, it's always the same story.
But they are
Arsenal
good.
football is looking brilliant. Their players are getting better and the hope is looking real. But yet they always just fall short. And you
Captain
can't help but hear the
Fantastic,
laughter every August. Rival
Martin
fans call it
Odegaard.
clockwork. Arsenal's annual prophecy of this is the year, and it's kind of become a running joke in English football. And for me as well, I'll be honest, I've thought the same way about them year after year. But here's the thing, as typical and as crazy as it sounds, this time it might actually be different. Because
For
this
sure,
2025-26 Arsenal
for
side just
sure.
feels
This time round it might be different. You feel me? They are hitting differently. Nigga, they are attacking. They are ahead. They are on the table. They are on top of the table, Arsenal. But history might repeat itself, but this time round it is different. Teams, the big teams are behind. They are lagging behind, which gives Arsenal a privilege. You feel me? To do anything they want. At a point, I thought there is no team which can beat Arsenal after Arsenal beating Bayern Munich 4-0. 4, feel me? Until Aston Villa ruined everything. Aston Villa. Aston Villa. Spiritually, it might be the Madrid for Arsenal. Yeah, spiritually, cause the way they beat Arsenal, and they are the only team which every time ruins the run. Yes, they sabotage everything for Arsenal. Aston Villa,
Stronger, meaner, more mature,
but they are
and
good.
more complete.
They are
They've patched
good.
the holes that cost them titles in the past. They added a striker who could finally be the missing piece. Arteta's patience, the club's faith, and years of heartbreak might finally be about to deliver what Arsenal fans have been waiting 21 long years for. The Premier League trophy, and maybe more. First of all, it's hard to deny that these last few years, Arsenal
Hey,
have been incredibly solid and consistent. Their midfield and defense has only improved and gotten better chemistry over the seasons. Because I believe the one piece
they
that
have the
Arsenal was
best
really missing
defense.
these
It
last
is
three
the Great
seasons
Wall.
is a dominant striker with great finishing. Let's break down the numbers. So last season, Arsenal scored 69 league goals and conceded 34, having a
That's
goal
good.
difference of plus 35. Statistically, Arsenal were already on the elite side. In fact, they actually overperformed their expected goals. But here's where the context matters, because most of those goals came from wingers and midfielders. And yes, Kai Havertz did lead the team in goals scored last season. However, let's be honest here. Kai Havertz is not a true striker, because Arsenal's forwards are one of the lowest scoring forwards in the top 5 clubs, because a lot of Arsenal's goals are spread out around their midfielders and wingers as well. And that's why Victor Gyökeres changes the whole picture. Arsenal doesn't just need more goals, they needed the right kind of goals. The one that comes when the plan breaks down, when you're chasing a result, or in the highest pressure situations where you can't
Gyökeres,
rely on your midfielders and wingers to win it all. So when you add a striker who can live in the chaos and finish anyways, especially adding Gyökeres to the players around him in Arsenal, he's
let's just give him time. Let's just give Gyökeres time. But this season, he's a flop. He's a flop. Gyökeres is a flop this season. Maybe next season better, but Gyökeres and Mbeumo, they are not going to make 15 goals in this season. I repeat it. They won't make 15 goals. Gyökeres and Mbeumo.
only going to complement their playstyles, not hinder their goal scoring. Because of the way that Gyökeres plays, Saka, Trossard, and even Havertz can play right
That's
alongside him.
normal.
So when Arsenal adds a strong striker who could finish chances, you don't just get a small upgrade, you make the whole team a lot scarier. But don't get me wrong here, adding a striker isn't the only reason why this Arsenal team looks different. Because while statistically, Arsenal did overperform in the attack, on the other hand, the amount of goals they were conceding did not look quite as good. And of course, it all starts from the goalkeeper. In the 22-23 season, Arsenal conceded more goals than they expected.
Damn. Rico is 26, 6, 6, 84 points, 2.21 per game. Damn, second in the Premier League, first time home records 14, 2. Ah, nah, yeah, this is damn good. God damn.
With then goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale having a decent save percentage of 70.6%. However, he couldn't keep that up long. By the 23-24 season, Ramsdale's save percentage would drop to 65%, with Arsenal once more conceding more goals than expected. But now enters David Raya. In the 24-25 season, David Raya would have a 74.1 save percentage. And last season, Arsenal conceded less goals than expected, because David Raya gives you a very solid modern keeper. He has those keeper-sweeper instincts, is confident in his long passing, and he would even finish last season with one of the highest clean sheets in the league. And although it's early in the season, David Raya has been in insane form. His save percentage has come up to 83.3%.
God
With Arsenal
damn.
form.
God
His save percentage has come
damn.
up to
83.3%. Damn. What?
83.3%. With
That's
Arsenal
how
right
good
now
their
conceding
defense
less goals
is.
than expected. And a huge part of that
It is
is
a
in
great
David
wall.
Raya's incredible form. And on the defense, we have William Saliba. And Saliba isn't just big, he's elite in the details. Saliba ranks among the top defenders in interceptions, recoveries,
in
and
the
duel success in
world.
the Premier League. And
In
a
the
defender like
world.
Saliba is someone who lets Arteta push a high line without always getting punched on the counterattack. Putting it simply, Saliba closes spaces, reads danger early, and recovers quickly. And you can see this in the metrics, as Saliba is also another big reason why Arsenal's expected goals was among one of the lowest in the Premier League. And I also have to give a huge shout out to Jurrien Timber. Last 24-25 season, he was very solid. However, although it's early, right now it looks like he's having a breakout season. Through 7 matches, he's had 2 goals and 1 assist, playing incredibly in the attack and also in the defense. And the same thing could be said about Riccardo Calafiori. Last season, he wasn't really all that great, but right
That
now,
one
he
is
as well
good.
is in incredible form, having
Yeah.
1 goal and 2 assists in 7 matches, which right now matches the same output he had last season in 19 matches. If Arsenal's defense can keep this up, they would easily be the best defense in the Premier League. But where Arsenal really shines, it's in its midfield, because Arsenal's midfield has not only been incredibly solid, it's been one of the best in the entire league, and they're still young and only getting better and improving their chemistry.
I bet, when it is Odegaard's day all season, the only midfielder which can outstand him is Bruno Fernandes. The rest are bullshit. Yep, Odegaard in his prime, nigga, no one is getting away
But
with
firstly, let's
it.
talk about Martin Odegaard. Last season, he produced meaningful creative numbers. Not only did he have the second most assists in the squad, but he actually led the charts in
Hey,
progressive passes. Odegaard's influence in chance creation is unmistakable.
that's
Because
how
aside from his
good
goals and
he
assists, with the
is.
former not being as high as the other midfielders around him. But even more importantly, in my opinion and based on stats, Odegaard is the most important player in dictating tempo, direction, and rhythm. Because Odegaard's playstyle is probably the most diverse of any midfielder in Arsenal. He draws defenders, picks line-breaking passes, and his movement pulls the opposition team out of shape. In my opinion, Odegaard is probably the closest to the heartbeat of the midfield. But the key difference this season isn't what Odegaard does, it's about
Captain
who's around him.
Fantastic
Because Declan
Odegaard,
Rice has become the backbone of the
the
midfield.
beast.
Last season, he ranked among the Premier League's top 5 midfielders for interceptions and recoveries per 90, while still averaging close to 7.5 progressive carries and 2.2 carries into the final third per game. The way that Rice shields the back line, then bursts forward to connect plays while Arsenal can suffocate teams high up the pitch without leaving many holes in their positioning. But a big change to Arsenal's midfield this season is the addition of Martin Zubimendi. Because man, I don't know, Spain just makes some quality midfielders. And he's a very underrated pickup, because last season in La Liga, he averaged 2.43 clearances per 90, ranked in the 90th percentile of Spanish
Zubimendi
midfielders. Plus, his
94
tackle
position
success rate
1.
is 82.1%, much higher than other Arsenal midfielders. He even has a 1.36 interceptions per 90, showing that he's not only good at reacting, but also anticipating the ball. And it's not like he's only good at the defensive end, because 31% of his passes were forward in open play during last season in Real Sociedad. It's about many times foreign
238
players come to the Premier League and
passes.
struggle. In just 7 Premier League matches, he's already scored 2 goals, showing that he's in great form and is adapting without a problem. But a really good thing about Zubimendi's addition is that it allows Declan Rice to roam higher up the pitch, and this only improves Arsenal's attack and adds more pressure to the opposition. Plus, Zubimendi has proven that even in Spain, he was a press-resistant midfielder. That means his calm under pressure and elite positional awareness allows him to be a glue player that Arteta always sought after, and he just makes Rice and Odegaard have more freedom and overall just be less tired throughout the match. And that is huge. Also, another crucial and underrated signing was Eze, making Arsenal even more dangerous from the flanks. Eze is a ball-carrying threat who can draw defenders and open lanes for Gyökeres or other Arsenal players to score goals. Because for many seasons now at Arsenal, Saka was the only real consistent threat from the wing. Now they have Eze who can operate as an inverted winger and even at times an interior playmaker, giving Arteta's attack a whole new level of creativity that they previously lacked. With Eze's flair and dribbling, he'll definitely be able to open up space for Arsenal's midfield and attack to work around and exploit. Plus, the guy himself is also in incredible form right now, already having 2 assists in 5 appearances.
Hey,
Then, of course, you have Bukayo Saka. For several seasons now, Saka has been one of the most
the
consistent
golden
and productive
boy.
players at Arsenal. I'm sure I don't have to spend too much time telling you guys just how good he is. Easily one of the best wingers in the Premier League. But despite how young he is, I always felt like he's had too much pressure to lead the club. And I'll be honest here, I've never really looked at Saka as much of a leader or alpha dog, but I think this year with a much better and more complete squad, overall Saka will have much less pressure on his shoulders, and he can focus on what he does best, creating openings, creating chances, and scoring goals. Because when you add all of this, not only is Arsenal incredibly great defensively, they might have the deepest attacking lineup in the Premier League. And the addition of a
Hey!
physical finisher like
Ayo
Victor Gyökeres
Saka.
up top really is the perfect fit for this Arsenal midfield. I know that many people have mixed opinions about Gyökeres, with some people saying he's only scoring goals because he was in the Portuguese league. But from a purely objective standpoint, I'll be honest, while Victor Gyökeres is a great finisher, he largely operates as a system player. However, that's not a bad thing, because Gyökeres has great movement and positioning. He's the kind of forward that pins center backs, drags them out of position, and constantly makes runs to open lanes for guys like Eze and Saka to cut in. That's why right now Arsenal is averaging 2.3 expected goals per game compared to last season's 1.9.
But he's here for goals. Let's be sincere. Yes, he's good with positioning, makes the runs. That's true. That's good. That's good. But if they bought you to be a striker, the striker is supposed to score goals. Yeah, Haaland can do that as well. He runs, he positions well. You feel me? He positions well and he scores, he delivers. Now this is crap. He positions, he runs, he's good to take off the defenders, leaving space for Eze and bullshit. That's bullshit. He's a striker. Arsenal needs goals.
It's not because they're taking more shots, it's because the shots they're taking are simply better. Right now, Gyökeres has a very solid 3 goals in 7 appearances. But what's important to look at is that he averages 6.5 touches in the opposition box and wins 55% of his aerial duels. A rare output for someone who presses as much as he does. But it's not just about the goals, aerial duels. A rare output for someone who presses as much.
Victor Gyökeres has the most touches in opponent's box per match by an Arsenal player in Premier League this season with 6.26 per match. Okay. But another thing is we don't need touches. They are unnecessary. We need goals. Arsenal need goals. I'm not saying it as I'm not supporting. I don't support Arsenal. Every team need. I'm speaking for Arsenal fans. Arsenal needs goals, not most touches in opponent's box. That's stupid. For real, as a striker, you're going to brag around because you have the most touches.
As he does. But it's not just about the goals, it's about the chemistry. Even though it's early onto the season and they haven't been teammates for that long, it's simply how his style of play meshes up with his teammates. With the way he plays, he easily clicks with Odegaard and Saka on tight 2-on-1s. And when he holds up the play, he allows guys like Zubimendi and Rice to push forward. That's why right now Arsenal has one of the best rhythms in the league. Zubimendi and Rice provide the stability behind him, while Odegaard feeds him in the gaps and Eze and Saka run off his shoulders. Arsenal's attack really is locked in. He really solves Arsenal's missing number 9 issues, because the same Arsenal midfielders that always look good and elegant, however were never really taken too seriously, altogether are now incredibly dangerous.
That's great, that's great.
Now, pundits have repeatedly said how Arsenal's midfield had always kept them in games, even when their front line was not all that dangerous. But right now, this Arsenal squad truly is different. And don't forget, I said their midfield was deep. This season, Arteta really is spoiled for choice, as he even has the option to throw in Martinelli or Trossard into the midfield or the attack. Basically, he can change things up depending on certain tactics for certain opponents. I know, it's still really early, but Arsenal right now are sitting on top of the table. However,
but if they don't take the Premier League this season, if Arsenal doesn't take the Premier League this season, they should go. They just leave. They have to just leave the league. Yes, for sure. They leave the rest teams to play because that is time wasting. How are you going to tell your siblings or your daughters and sons that we used to spend ending the season every time because you are in the second position? Are you stupid? Yeah?
that's not a fluke. They really deserve it and have been playing incredibly well.
Yeah, they deserve it. They should
Arsenal
win.
had a great midfield, and many chances were created. However, they usually resulted in weak shots from the outside or scrambled and messy attempts to score inside the box. However, this season, those same passes and plays are now completed by a striker who knows how to get his body between defenders. Whether it's making the right near post run or go towards the end of a cross, the presence of Gyökeres just holds a whole nother level of danger for the
You
opposition
shoot to
defense. And
kill.
naturally, with Gyökeres basically demanding a mark the entire time, it only makes things a lot more easier for the Arsenal midfield. They now have more space to exploit and someone they know that they can rely on to score those goals as long as they get him the ball near the box. For the first time
Bro,
in a very
Gyökeres is not even among the top 6 top scorers right now. 2025 to 2026 top scorers. Gyökeres is not among the top 5 top
very long
scorers.
time, Arsenal has now shifted from just a competitive team to now an intimidating one.
Let them
Although it did
compete,
take an
but they'll never
incredibly long
win.
time, Mikel Arteta has built this. You'll now hear pundits say that this team has belief. Because the last few seasons, I get it. Many people thought Arsenal was good, but never really feared them enough to think of them as trophy-winning good. But I'm confident that many football fans out there that used to tease Arsenal now look at this team and think of them as serious contenders. And I know because I was one of those Arsenal.
Nigga,
Now look at this trophy-winning good, but I'm confident that many football
if you find yourself in such situations like this nigga, especially in Africa,
fans out there, they
they are making fun out of this nigga, man. This is wrong for fans. What if a person
used to tease
punches you in the face? What if he punches you? Hmm? You taking time to touch him, man. Why are you provoking Arsenal fans?
Arsenal. Now look at this team and think of them as serious contenders. And I know because I was one of those guys that never really believed in them. Because over the summer transfers, I was always most curious about what Gyökeres would do in the Premier League. But maybe it was news of his addition that really hid the fact that Arsenal had also really strengthened their midfield and flank. Plus, this team is still young as a lot of these guys are only
Yes,
getting
sir.
closer to reaching their primes. So a lot of you guys cannot take Arsenal seriously and keep poking jokes. But if you haven't witnessed them yet this season, if your team challenges them, maybe you shouldn't take them so lightly. Because
That's
this Arsenal
great.
squad might just surprise you.
Okay. Now, if you found this video interesting, please subscribe to Son of Nabuja. Yeah, subscribe. Please subscribe to my page, Son of Nabuja. Oh, 2026, finishing it with 1,000 subscribers. Please, I don't want you to be left behind. I want you to be among my family. You feel me? Please, let's join hands, make a good family. You feel me? Yeah, thank you for watching.